And good morning to the DOST family. My first question, I hope this will not be deducted from my time. I just would like to react to the answer of the DOST to the carbon dating query of the minority leader. Because I know that carbon dating is a technique for very old organic materials. Aging, dating thousands of years, archaeological materials. So how can this possibly be used for determining the age of coconut lumber? I know that carbon-14, which is the one being used for radiocarbon dating, has a half-life of something like 5,700 years. If I recall my science and chemistry back in school, plus or minus 40 years. So you have an error of plus or minus 40 years. How can you possibly use that for coconut lumber, which may be only about 20, 25 years old?
With your permission, can we call Dr. Alamano de la Rosa?
Good morning, Your Honor. We will go over the other tracers or techniques, and we will report to the House what would be the best techniques that we can use in order to date or determine the age of the coconut lumber.
Yeah, but I was expecting an answer of no from you.
You are right, Congressman Golez, that the C14 is used to date samples that may be thousands of years. And therefore, the sensitivity of this C14 technique may not be adequate or may not give the sensitivity that we need to date the coconut lumber.
Thank you, thank you. My next question, Mr. Secretary. Your office is located in the periphery of my district, in the Bicutan area, and I pass by there very often, going to San Martin de Porres. Now my question is this: how much of the budget do you intend to use for facelifting? Because my impression of the DOST is that it should be high-tech, science, just like the image of the PNRI when I was a student in UP. When you see that dome, you would immediately see that there's something very scientific going on, something high-tech going on. But if I see the frontage of the DOST, it doesn't look like a science and technology center. I hope you understand what I'm talking about, because impressions are very important, especially in your case, of all the departments. The wall, for example, around it, the sidewalk, do not impress me as a scientifically driven agency.
Your Honor, I think the observation of the Honorable Golez is correct, and I think I have no figures to give you on how much we intend to place in place as far as 2013 is concerned. However,
even this year, I'm sure you can find some.
Yeah, we can through our MOE
for
budget.
some
Yeah.
facelifting.
Yes, sir. And yeah, I think we will be able to find some from our MOE or some facelifting.
Thank you. Now, the other question I have is related to the weather, risk reduction, etc. Again, a follow-up. The weather report that we are using, if we use our phone, is the apps from Apple. MMDA has apps to tell us the traffic situation on a minute-by-minute basis. The DOST is the one administering the ICT program of the government. And therefore, you should be of a higher ICT level than MMDA. So if the MMDA can do that for traffic, I would expect that you should be able to do that for weather also. So that with an apps that is focused on the Philippines and the periphery, we can know exactly the kind of weather that you can expect in the morning, at noon, and in the afternoon, instead of a 7-day projection that we get from apps from Google or iPhone that covers the entire world.
I think
Po ang ICT champion eh.
siguro po, with your permission, Mr. Sabre can give an enlightenment on this. But I don't know whether the pag-asa SMS notices are given to members of the House.
No, we don't want SMS. We want at any time.
I see.
So that we at any time we go to apps and be able to even see what's the weather. You know, in the apps of Apple, it tells us even major towns. For example, my town, my province in Romblon, even in Lobok, I think, Lobok, even in Baybay Leyte, in Tacloban Leyte, there is. But that's international, and they can do that.
Do we? Can you say something about that?
Kayo ICT champion, kayo mahawak na ICT.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Congressman. Actually, the Secretary is very concerned about it. In fact, when we opened yung NOAA website, which was actually a soft launch and overload po. Yeah. Okay, we have actually NOAA is already developing the app for the smartphones. It will be available for both Apple and Android devices. It will be available in 3 months.
How fine-tuned would that be? It should not be only Metro Manila, but the entire archipelago.
Opo. Actually, probably dapat si Dr. Servando po would be the one to address the accuracy of the system. No. But actually, the target of because the Secretary is always talking about how the delivery will be done po. Ang gusto niya po, bawat locality, you can say, okay, I want to know about this place all the time. So, the delivery is context sensitive. Kung pwede, NOAA right now is in its beginning stages. But we are working very quickly on the forecasting capabilities. Bakit si Dr. Servando po ang mas magandang tanongin?
Basta we will try to make it as fine as possible.
So NOAA, we're about to evacuate because of the incoming deluge. That's the meaning of NOAA, even in 2012.
Hindi po, but it's the saving part.
Good morning, sir. Actually, Pag-asa is working on that, and hopefully, I'm referring to the apps. But with the expected more automatic weather stations, including water level sensors being rolled out nationwide, it will help in providing more accurate weather information, not only in Metro Manila, but nationwide as well. But of course, with the full coverage of the whole country by the Doppler radars, again, it will help in providing more accurate information, particularly the rainfall forecast.
Thank you. On page 8 of your briefing, Mr. Secretary, there is under ICTO programs, Super Wi-Fi Pilot Project. May we know what this is?
So again, we would like to request Mr. Cassandra.
Thank you, sir. So Super Wi-Fi, actually, it goes under the general term of TV white space technologies. The TV bands po, severely underutilized. Now there's emerging technology, actually the regulations are in place already in the United States, whereby the unused TV spectrum or frequencies, channels, can be used for long-range broadband connectivity. So, and well, to the term super Wi-Fi is not exactly correct,
Would
pero
it be the use of WiMAX?
hindi po. It's
Hindi WiMAX.
hindi po. This one uses TV spectrum, and the more important thing, it uses it's in unlicensed mode. Parang yung Wi-Fi routers natin. But the potential of the technology is to be able to cover up to 30 kilometers in radius. No? So that's already 900 square kilometers right there. Right? So the potential to reach very vast areas is there. Alam niyo naman, TV, it can transmit quite far. So this is very new po. We are already starting the pilot, but we also have we're also working with towards getting the regulatory framework in place.
And that will be free to the public.
Well, somebody has to pay for it po. So we're looking at different modes. One is to do it PPP, where there's a commercial element involved. But at the same time, we also are pushing that the public service aspect not be tignan po.
Because there's some localities already that have installed WiMAX, which has a range of maybe 2, 3, 4 kilometers, free to the public, in plazas, for example.
Yes po. Actually, if we take the figures of the telcos, we are actually almost 100% covered. But actually, if you look at the area coverage, it is much, much lower than that. It's probably 60 to, I would suspect, even 50%. So a lot of our citizens are not being covered even by mobile service, much less broadband.
You should help us here in the house. We have a terrible internet service here. Very bad. Also for phone. By the way, on your DOST scholarship programs, you know, there's this girl, Rainabel Reyes. I'm sure you know her, Mr. Secretary.
She's US.
Yes, astrophysicist, and she's being hailed as someone who has provided a solution to the theory of relativity, general relativity of Newton, of Einstein, up to the cosmic level. Are we helping her? Because she might be a potential Nobel Prize winner.
I would like to ask Director Browner of Science Education Institute. What I remember about her, she was the one who delivered the speech in behalf of her DOST Scholars class way back in, I think, 2000.
Yes, she's a graduate of
2002.
Philippine Science High School.
And also Ateneo. Yeah. But from there, she went straight to the US to study. And
Princeton, I understand.
Princeton. Yeah.
The reason I ask this is if we support her, and then she'll be able to bag that Nobel Prize. That will
I
be
believe
something
she is
for
well.
Philippines.
I believe she is well placed in the U.S. institution where she is now. In fact, in my mind, I think she should be starting to help us now already.
Good morning, Your Honors. Yes, Reynabel Reyes is in fact a scholar of both the Philippine Science High School and undergraduate scholarship program of DOST. As mentioned by Undersecretary de la Peña, after scholarship, she went straight to the US for a scholarship. And she has been there since the first time that she hasn't come back yet, except for brief occasions wherein she's invited to talk. And with brief interactions with her, she said she plans to come back.
Well, you know, the topic she selected is beyond a lot of us here, outside the solar system already.
Your Honor, what we can do is really to keep in touch with her and as much as possible to bring her whenever there will be an opportunity for her to our Balik Scientist program.
Thank you. On adaptation, Mr. Secretary, are you involved in studying the Laguna, Dibae, plus all its tributaries, especially in relation to how to adapt to the floods? Not mitigation, but adaptation. In other words, being able to predict what could happen, what will happen, given certain meteorological developments.
Yeah. Your Honor, ito po ay nadinig ko sa aming secretary na ang pinag-aaralan nila ni Secretary Singson is really how to take advantage of the height of the water level in Laguna de Bay against Manila, against the Manila Bay area. Because as we know, these are two bodies of water that are connected by the Pasig River, and we have a Mangahan floodway which is being used to release water depending on certain criteria. And according to our secretary, the release level or the one that triggers the release to him, it can probably be brought down farther because the difference in height between Laguna de Bay water level and Manila Bay is very significant. So kung ngayon po nagre-release ng tubig only at a certain height, ang sinasabi ng Secretary, pwede pa pong babaan yung pinaka level. In other words, we can release more to Manila de Bay through Pasig. So they are discussing, siya at saka si Secretary Singson, because basically this is a regular operational job of the PWH, but we can help in doing these studies.
Thank you, because it's very important to Metro Manila and adjacent provinces, localities. Well, that's basically all, Mr. Secretary. I do hope that you will address the facelifting challenge.
I kept in mind your suggestion about the rubber boats, the
Oh, by the way, yeah, Mr. Chairman, in the Rotary Club of Manila, where I belong, we awarded an inventor, and this is going to be his product can be very useful. Yeah, here, Mr. Pagsalan. It's a DOST Rotary Club of Manila project, and one of the awardees is someone who invented what he called the unsinkable boat. That's going to be very useful in flood-prone areas. I asked him on the side how much it would cost. It would cost something like 50 to 60,000 pesos according to him. Yeah, which if we can deploy a few thousand in the flood-prone areas and really determine whether, well, you determine that it's unsinkable. So you have put your stamp on that product. If it sinks, the DOST will sink with it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, salamat po. Thank you, Congressman Golez. Congressman Fuas, recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, the family of the DOST. First, I would rather congratulate the DOST in its efficient handling